In this broadcast, we will address inclusion in sport from an educational perspective. You will be able to analyze with us everything from the history and historical context of men and women in sports to what was observed during the observation and practice days. In addition, you will learn about our intervention in elementary schools.
Welcome to our podcast, and today we want to share to you something very special, an experience, how we work with boys and girls on inclusion in sports and education, 12 biographical capsules.
Many times we think that equality is a distant topic or just a theoretical one, but when we put it to practice with children, we realize that ideas about who can or cannot do something are formed from a very early age. That is why we wanted to approach them through stories of athletes who break stereotypes.
Lately, there has been a lot of talk about equality, but when you bring it into daily life, you realize that there are still many ideas we take it for granted.
Yes, especially when it comes from boys and girls.
Exactly. For a very early age, phrases, attitudes, and ways of thinking began to appear that are already loaded with stereotypes.
To understand this better, we need to look back. History shows us that equality has not always been a reality. For example, during much of the 20th century in Mexico, it was believed that sports such as soccer were exclusive to men. But today, girls and women have to show that talent has no gender.
Exactly, and we're not only talking about gender. In 1948, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights already recognized that all people are born free and equal in dignity and rights. However, we still face challenge in making these principles reality in school and sports spaces.
An inspiring example is the creation of the Paralympic Games in 1960. Since then, the world has seen how the people with disabilities also have the right to participate and excel in sports.
Education plays a key role in all of this. And if from elementary school we teach children that everyone deserves respect and opportunities, we are planting seeds of equality for the future.
Well, here in Mexico, since the late 19th and early 20th centuries, there were already people questioning about how women were viewed in society and what they should or should not do.
Exactly. Then came the Mexican Revolution, and all the women participated both directly and indirectly. Their real role continued to be minimized afterward.
So we are not talking about something that came out of nowhere, but rather about the process in which what it means to be a woman or man.
Before going into specific examples, I think it is important to mention that inclusion in sports and education is not only about access, but also about the ideas and beliefs we form from childhood. It is very common to notice stereotypes and gender roles in people from an early age, and sometimes we have them so normalized, which really amazes me.
That's true. Boys and girls have very fixed ideas about what activities belong to each. Comments such as football being only for boys and girls being weaker appear naturally and as if they were unquestionable truths. This made us reflect that these ideas do not only come from school, but from a society that still continues to transmit this message to childhood.
At least during our teaching practice, I have seen how students grow up with the idea that things have a gender.
It must be, as we mentioned earlier, due to the ideas with which children and people in our society are educated.
But what we wanted to highlight is that all these ideas are gender stereotypes have an impact, positive or negative, on people.
Another important aspect we observed was how these stereotypes directly affect students' participation. On several occasions, we noticed that some boys and girls were interested in joining certain sports activities, but they held back because of fear of being mocked, criticized, or not accepted by their classmates just by the genre. This helped us to understand that inclusion is not always obvious or intentional, but often happens silently.
That's exactly why we implemented a series of inclusive activities with the intention of promoting equality between men and women, grounded into the sports context.
What we did was create biographical capsules to break with the previously mentioned stereotypes, reinforcing values such as respect, collaborations, and equal opportunities both inside and outside the sport field.
I personally work on these capsules as templates that talk about a person, where the students add information and drew the article that each one researched. Then we made a clothesline with these people representing the final product. It was a very fun activity to do.
Building on what was just mentioned, we did not only work with the biographical capsules, but the whole team contributed different activities to reinforce inclusion and equality in sports. Team dynamics, discussion moments, and reflection spaces were organized so that students could share their ideas and listen to their classmates. And the main goal was that all activities allowed equal participation of both girls and boys, promoting respect, collaboration, and appreciation of each other's work.
Brenda, Ruby, Luz, and I approached the inclusive capsule by using information cards to promote collaborative work. After organizing the raffle and dividing the children into teams, each group was given the name of a young male or female soccer player. Among them was Alexia Putellas, Marcelo Flores, Lamin Yamal, and Sam Kerr.
Yes, and the most interesting thing was that we followed a very creative format. First, we made a little decorative drawing, which would serve as a support for the biography. There, the children wrote down information such as name, age, team, position, nationality, and achievements.
It was possible to hold a session dedicated to learning about outstanding women in sports. To do this, our team prepared a presentation on the topic, which included female athletes such as Alexa Moreno, Lorena Ramirez, Soraya Jimenez, and Ana Paula Vázquez. And the children were very surprised to see the skills of each athlete, which was very rewarding for me.
My activity consists in creating posters of female athletes. First, the children were shown an example of a female athlete and discussing her achievements to motivate them. Afterwards, the students would make their own posters featuring women who were important to them. These women could be athletes, painters, writers, or historical figures such as Anne Frank. And finally, the students would present the biography of this person.
And when it came time to present the project, we saw very inclusive attitudes. For example, girls leading the project, boys recognizing the achievement of female soccer players, and the teams helping each other so that everyone could participate.
This allowed us to observe important lessons. The children were not only made prominent figures in sports, but also reflect on gender equality, dignity in competition, and respect for difference.
As a future teachers, we learned that our role is to create spaces where all students feel valued, and the equality means that every person has the same opportunities, regardless of their gender, the physical condition, or the social background.
After everything we observed during our internships, we firmly believe that substantive equality must be worked on from basic education onwards. These early stages are where beliefs, attitudes, and values that later influence children's lives being formed. If stereotypes are not questioned from an early age, they become normalized and reproduced in different spaces, such as school, sports, and society.
As teachers in training, our commitment is to challenge stereotypes and create spaces where boys and girls have equal opportunities.
Thank you for joining us for this episode. Until next time. Bye.